Hi, welcome to Grade 5 ELA Part 2. I need you to have your reading passage called Trampolines and your text-based questions in front of you. Ready? Yesterday, we read the text called Trampolines. Today, we're going to answer text-based questions using the RAGD strategy, the RAD strategy. Our learning target is, I can quote accurately from a text when explaining what the text says. So let's begin by reviewing some information we read about yesterday. Let's take a look back. So if we take out our passage, in the beginning of the passage, first, the author starts out by telling us that trampoline-like activities have been around for a long time. That was here in the second paragraph. It went through the history of trampolining. Then, the author tells us that trampolining can be dangerous if it's practiced unsafely. So up here in paragraph 6, the author talked about some of the things that can cause dangers on trampolines, like too many people jumping at the same time. And then, lastly, the author tells us how to prevent the trampoline injuries. In paragraph 7 here, he talks about using padding to help so that people don't get their arms stuck. So he talked about how to prevent injuries. When we put all of those facts together, we came up with what the author wanted us to know. And the author wanted us to know that trampolines are fun, but they also have many dangers. So that was with the author's purpose of this text, that trampolines are fun, but it also has many dangers. So now let's get started with our TBQ. I will model answering the first question with you, so I hope you follow along. Question number 1 says, if you were buying a new trampoline, what advice do you believe the author would give you? Refer to the text to support your response. So if I was buying a new trampoline, what advice would the author of this text give me? So using our RAD strategy, the first part is to restate my question. So to restate my question, I am going to go back into my question. It says, if you were buying a new trampoline, so I am going to start by, if I was buying a new trampoline, the advice, I'm getting rid of the question, the what. The advice the author would give me is, so now I've restated my question. The A is to answer my question. Well, based on the facts from reading the text, we found out that the author believes that trampolining is fun, but he also says that there are some dangers if you are not careful. So my answer would be, the advice that the author would give me is that trampolines are fun, but they can be dangerous, and there are many things that you can do to practice safe trampolining. So that would be my answer. Trampolines may be fun, but they're also dangerous, and there are many things you can do to practice safe trampolining. So that's my answer. Now I go to the D, which means give me a detail from the text. Well, if I looked at my text, the paragraph that talked about what I can do to prevent injuries was this paragraph 7 right here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. This paragraph 7 right here talked about how I can prevent injuries. So if I look at it, it says, don't let all that bad news keep you down. There are many things you can do to practice safe trampolining. You can cover the springs with special pads so that people's limbs are less likely to get stuck in them. You can surround your trampoline with a net so that people don't fall through. You can limit the bouncers to one at a time. This will prevent collision injuries. So one of the details that shows that I can have fun is I'm going to use this sentence that says, now remember I need a sentence starter, so I'm going to say in the text, because I'm pulling it right from this paper, in the text, comma, now I'm going to use quotes because that's going to surround the exact words from the author from this text. I'm going to use quotes. So in the text, comma, quotes, the author says, you can surround your trampoline with a net so that people don't fall off of it, period. End of quotes. So now I'm using beginning quotes and ending quotes because that came directly from this text. It says, you can surround, this is the sentence that I'm using, word for word, and because I'm using word for word, that's why I have to use quotes. Okay? So that's my first detail, and I also need a second detail. So now I also have to use another sentence starter. So I'm going to say, in paragraph 7, because now I'm telling the location from where I got the answer, so I'm going to say, in paragraph 7, comma, it states, I'm going to use quotes because, again, I'm taking it word for word right off of my paper. It says, you can limit the bouncers to one at a time. This will prevent collision injuries, period, quotes. So now I have my R. I restated my question. I answered my question, and I have two details from the text. Because they came directly from the text, I had to use quotes. So my final answer should look like this. I have, if I was buying a new trampoline, I think the advice the author would give me, there is my R. I restated the question. The advice the author would give me is, now I'm going to answer the question, trampolines may be fun, but they can also be dangerous. There are many things you can do to practice safe trampolining while having a good time. There's my answer. I answered the question. Now I need a detail, specifically evidence from the text. So I use the sentence starter. In the text, comma, the author says, comma. Now because this came directly from the text, I needed my quotes. And I put quotes around the exact words that came from the text. You can surround your trampoline with a net so that people don't fall off of it. Period. Quotes. That surrounds word for word all the words that came from the text. So there's my first detail. Then I have another sentence starter. Also in paragraph 7, it states, there's my sentence starter, comma, and then my quotes again, because these are the exact words from the text. You can limit bouncers to one at a time. This will prevent collision injuries, period. Quotes again. Here is my second detail. So I've checked to make sure I've had all the parts of my RAD strategy. I made sure that I quoted word for word what was in the text. I hope this helped using the RAD strategy. I hope this helped you. Now it's your turn to answer some questions using the RAD strategy. When you're done, please take a photo, send it to your teacher so that we can see if you're understanding this. Thanks for listening. Bye.